What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Jared Williams Show. Today I got special guest, Mr. Ryan Fenn. How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Doing good.
Thanks
Owner of or founder of Chirp.
Chirp, yeah.
Why did you spell it with two I's? I gotta ask.
I actually really wish I had a really cool story here.
Yeah.
But it's domain availability. So
Okay.
actually,
I like that.
this is what it came down to. Actually, we liked the word chirp because it meant something, and we started searching. And this may be a little tip for you if you want. There's a company called Brand Bucket. If you've ever heard of it, it's basically they buy domain names and they kind of seed up a brand.
Yeah.
And then sell the brand with the domain.
Yeah.
And we were searching around. We were looking for domains with the word chirp in it, and that came up on Brand Bucket as a pre-designed thing, and it just like sung to us.
Cool.
And we were like, all right, rock and roll. Because Chirp, obviously, chirp.com wasn't available, and I didn't want to do something lame like use chirpapp.com or something like that.
Yeah, you know? I agree. Okay, before we get into it, you guys need to check out PlumbLineAnswers.org. The reason you're listening to this podcast is because of them. They are a 24-hour answering service that will book calls directly into your CRM, and they're freaking awesome, and they do a good job. And you pay per booked call, not per minute like most companies. So go check them out at PlumbLineAnswers.com. You won't regret it, I promise. Okay, so it's two I's because the domain was available. What does it mean? Like, why did Chirp sing to you?
Well, it's kind of funny. We heard Dave Portnoy on, if you watch his pizza reviews, and he'll be like, "Oh, that guy was chirping me, like bugging me." And part of like follow up is kind of annoying.
Yeah,
but it's kind of what you have to do to be consistent. And so it's like, we're gonna chirp you,
makes sense.
Yeah.
And then you said we. Who's we?
So when I started the company, my brother was with me. He was actually the one that kind of came up with that idea with the word chirp. And then if you've used the software before, you've probably heard of or know Taylor. He was with me at the beginning as well. He's our now head of product, but he's been with me since day one. So
Gotcha.
and then we have our developer who's day one as well. So Kevin. So yeah, that was we, but now it's
cool.
45 people, I think, or something like that. So,
and so, and technically, you own. I mean, it's a software company, right?
It is a software company, yes.
And
it's just like call it like a platform. The software is part of it, but it's a whole ecosystem,
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And did you ever, like, how did you get into that?
So, I've always been. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not a Silicon Valley nerd or anything like that. I didn't go to MIT.
I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah, yeah. But I'm an entrepreneur and I love selling things. That's ever since I was little, just love selling stuff. It was always very intriguing to me. I would beg my mom to buy like candy at Costco so I could sell it at school. Sell candy. When my first son was born, I kind of just did the hustle. I dropped out of high school when I was 16 and I sold cars, I sold pest control, I sold anything, And then my son was born after I was married, and that's when it's like serious time. It's like I got more than my mouth to feed, and more than my wife. And it's like my wife was working, so it's like we were just easy street for a little while there. But when you have a son, it's a little different. So I started a windshield repair business. That was my first like actually successful business.
Why windshield repair?
Yeah,
out of curiosity.
So my wife and I moved to Utah from California at the time when my son was born, mostly because we kind of saw Utah as more friendly to the entrepreneurial spirit, and so we wanted to start fresh. But I had like $500 in the bank when we moved. We were dead broke, and we paid our first month's rent. I had $500 after we paid first month's rent. So I was looking around for a job, and I saw a guy who was advertising on Craigslist for windshield repair salesman. I'm like, all right, let's check this out. So I call him up. He's like, yeah, come over to the car wash. It's like 5 minutes from my house, and I'll show you what we're doing. So I sit down with him, and basically, as cars were coming in to get their wash, he would sit down. They would come in like for a detail or whatever, and the car would be sitting out there. He'd look at the windshield and find like a chip in the windshield, like a crack that's gonna spread. And he'd go in and he'd say, "Hey, while we're detailing your car, would you like us to also fix this chip in your windshield?
Mm-hmm.
And they'd say yes. And he did it right in front of me. He did one. He closed the deal. And I'm like, oh, that's like super easy. So he made like $60 in like, 10 minutes. I
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's pretty cool. So I was like, I start selling for him. And what happens is you get paid $60 from the insurance company to fix this chip because they don't want to replace the whole windshield. So they'll
Right.
pay you to fix it. And, but he paid me 20, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the game, right?
Yep.
And so I'm there so I start doing it, and I'm at this car wash doing it, and I'm getting $20. So I do like 5, 6, 7 a day, right? Make 100, $200 on a good day, right?
Yep.
And at the time, I was like, baller, this is sweet, I'm making money. But every time I'd call the insurance company, because that's part of the process, I'd hear that, do you accept this job for $60 or $65? And I'd be like, yes. And then I'd be thinking about the numbers. I'd be like, dang, dude, $65.
That'd be way cooler than 20.
That's better than 20. It's like
Yeah.
3 times better than 20. And about a month and a half into this, I find out that this guy is actually doing some shady stuff with these customers' insurance information.
Real.
So I was like pretty upset because I was like, dude, I really loved this job, but I was like, there's no way I can keep doing it for this guy. There's like zero chance, right? So I quit that day when I find that out. And I was like, man, I want to do this, but I don't know how. I don't have a car wash to do it at. That was the trick, right? Was
Right.
that the cars were coming in. So I was like, well, I'm gonna buy a kit and I'm just gonna figure it out. So I ordered a kit. I had saved up a few $100s. I think they're around $350 for a kit for the basic kit. So I buy the kit, and that at the time was like a big investment for me. It was like all of our money. So I buy this kit, and
you're married with a kid at the time.
married with a kid, right?
Gotcha.
Yeah. So risk. So I buy the kit. It comes, and I'm at my apartment, and I'm just like, okay, how am I going to do this? And I just start knocking the doors in the neighborhood in the apartment complex.
Mm-hmm.
And I start going, hey, I do windshield repair. Can I look at your windshield? And they'd be, sure. And I'd go out and look. Oh, sure enough, you have a chip. Can I fix it? And then I got like 4 or 5 that first day. And at $60, that's better than the 5 or 6 or 7 I was getting at the gas station, right?
Yep.
Or at the car wash. And so I'm like, sweet. So I knocked doors out all that summer. Just I'd go out for 4 or 5 hours in the evening was the best time to do it. Go out for 4 or 5 hours, make like $200 or $300, and it was sweet. But I didn't really know how to scale that business. And it wasn't until I was in California, I went back to visit my parents, and we went to this gas station, and we were just going somewhere, and we went to the gas station, and we saw a girl come up and say, hey, we're going to wash your windshield today. And she washed the windshield, and I noticed on her shirt it said chip repair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, she's way smarter than I am. And she was letting all the cars come to her, right? All at the gas station. I was like, dude, that's it. Instead of knocking doors, I'm going to go to the gas station. So I go to the gas station near my house, and I asked the owner, and I'm like, hey, I want to do this. And he goes, go for it. So I go out there, and I start washing windshields, and 9 out of 10 people were saying no when I'd ask them if I could wash the windshield. And this is important. This is like an important part of the story that I want to. 9 out of 10 would say no, because I would say one thing. I'd say, thanks for coming into Mike's Chevron today. Would you like me to wash your windshield? No, thanks.
Yeah.
I'm like practically a homeless guy, what it seemed like, right? And so I was like, man, that's not going to work, because if I have 100 cars come in today, I'm going to see 10 windshields, and that's like hard to make your money on 10 windshields. And so I shifted what I was saying from, can I wash your windshield today, to, as a courtesy, we're washing everyone's windshields. Very small change in what I said. And it shifted me from 10 opportunities out of 100 to 90 opportunities out of 100 just by shifting like 3 or 4 words in my pitch.
Yep.
And I bring that up because when I talk about what I do now, the importance of the words you use can unlock huge opportunity or completely shut you off from opportunity. At the time, I was completely shut off, right? 10 opportunities. Once I made that tiny switch, I was now 90 opportunities out of 100. And I made $1,500 that Saturday.
Nice.
Doing windshield repair. And so
At a gas station. With no overhead.
No,
very little overhead.
we pay the guy like $5 a chip.
Mm-hmm.
And so we'd pay him out of the $1,500 like a couple $100. I made $1,300 profit.
Yeah.
Because and the windshield repair is like 10 cents of resin to actually fix the windshield.
And are you still billing insurance at this point?
Yeah. So billing insurance or if they don't want to do it, we charge them just cash, whichever they prefer.
Gotcha.
And so I made that. So I make $1,500. It's like, dude, baller. Like now I'm baller status, right? As a young kid making $1,500 on a Saturday, and then we started getting into more gas stations. And then some dealerships invited us to come work for them. This was 2010. That business that I started then is still running today in the gas stations and the mostly dealerships now, but it's all in dealerships all throughout Utah. I sold it to one of my technicians, but
cool.
It's still running. It's like a really good business. But and then in 2014 or 15, somewhere in there, I got the idea. I was like, man, I want to take this like global. I want to do something big with this. So I started a how to start your own windshield repair business online course.
Yeah.
And I had a little Mac Mini, and I was just making PowerPoint presentation videos, like how to pitch it at the like what to say at the gas station, right?
Yep.
How to get into a gas station, what to say to the owner to get to let them start working, how to get a kit and all this stuff. And I reached out to the guy that makes the kits, and I was like, hey, can you put my logo on your kit? And he's like, for sure. Like, and he put because it's just all generic. It didn't have branding. And so I started selling this course, and I was selling it I was trying to find leads any way I could online. I was posting on local classifieds, Craigslist. I would get leads coming in that way. And then I started running Facebook leads as I started to get momentum.
Mm-hmm.
And the Facebook leads were coming in really, really cheap. So if you run Facebook lead forms, you can get cheap leads, but the problem is conversion.
Yeah.
It's like, how do I convert these into actual paying customers?
Yep.
And I was like, I've got to solve this problem because these leads are coming in for $1. And if I could solve this problem, I'm going to make so much freaking money.
Leads to get into your course.
For the course.
Yep. Okay.
The course was $3,000.
Okay.
So I was like, if I can get even just 1 in 100 of these dollar leads to convert,
yeah,
I'm banging, right?
And this is 2015?
15, yeah.
So you're still like kind of on the forefront of online education.
Yeah. It was like when courses were just like Russell Brunson was just starting to like ClickFunnels was starting to take off, and it was like very new. So we're getting these leads for $1, and we're having a really hard time converting them. And what I found was if I texted them right away, they would respond, and it had to be really fast. So I would text them as quickly as the lead would come in. And then they would ask questions, and then I would get on a call with them. And I noticed that when I got on a call with them, they were not ready to convert. They're still very top of funnel. So what I started to learn was these people need more education before I get on a call, before I wasted time on a call. So I started doing webinars. So I say, hey, come to the webinar. And they'd come to the webinar and they would convert. I would get deals. And I was like, this is working pretty good, but I'd have to do these webinars consistently.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, these webinars are the same thing over and over and over again. Why don't I record one? And then instead of making them wait to watch it, I'll just, when they come in as a lead, I'll send them the webinar, right?
Yep.
So the moment the lead would come in, I would text them and I would say, hey, it's Ryan. Here's I had a 1-minute introduction video that invited them to watch the webinar. So I would send them that video. And then at the end of that video, it would say, if you're interested, watch our 45-minute presentation. And then they would watch the 45-minute presentation. Then they would schedule a call. Now, at that point, the scheduled call was worth the time because they've gone through this process of taking them from top of funnel to bottom of funnel, basically bridging the gap between like, who are you and shut up and take my money, right? That's like the gap we closed.
And you probably lost the ones who were in.
And everybody because in the presentation we talk about the investment, and then we talk about how much it costs and like all the things, right? So that by the time they get to the end, if they still say yes, I'm interested, that's like a done deal. So at that point, now we're just getting booked jobs on our booked appointments on our calendar that had gone through this process. And doing that, we made like $2 million selling that course. And going from selling windshield repair door to door to making $2 million on a course was pretty freaking cool.
Pretty awesome, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm also never, like there's always something bigger to do, right?
You can spend $2 million pretty quickly.
Yeah, we were, we were figuring, trying all different things. And So I'm like, all right, cool. What's the next phase of this? Well, how do I take what I've done here and make it bigger? And that's the idea for Chirp was born. It was like, okay,
Yeah.
this nurturing process that I've developed that I'm using I was using multiple softwares and doing all these little things to kind of put this funnel together. I was like, I want to bring that into one nurturing system because a lot of people are getting leads just like I was with Facebook.
Yep.
But they're not focused on converting the leads. They're not as good at conversion as they are as generation.
Right.
And that's where my big message is always just like, hey, you're spending so much time and effort to generate leads. You're not putting enough effort into maximizing conversion.
Yep.
And that's the message of Chirp, right? It's like, hey, stop focusing 100% of your effort on just more leads. Let's talk about how we can convert the ones you're already getting. So that's it. That's where the idea for Chirp was born. And then from there, we built Chirp. I got some people involved, and we actually struggled for like 3 or 4 years because it was not specifically a home service software. It was anybody that sells anything can use Chirp.
Yep.
And if you've been in business for any amount of time, you know that if you try to sell everything to everybody, you lose pretty fast.
Yep.
So we were selling like real estate agents and dentists, and like a food truck bought us, and like this guy that sells knives on a website. You know, so I have all these people like real estate agent would get on and be like, how do I do this? And I'd be like, well, the knife guy over here, he's doing this. And he's like, well, I don't care what the knife guy's doing. Tell me about another real estate agent. That's what I'm interested in. So we're trying to like niche down, right? Trying to figure out where. It took us a good like 3 years. It wasn't until some home service guys did come along and buy it. And then they started asking me, hey, if it did this, this would be really cool. If it did this, it'd be really cool. If it did this. And I started to see all these holes in the customer journey in the home service space that I could plug up beyond just the lead conversion on the front end, all through the customer journey, where within the integration within like Service Titan, House Call Pro, where like, you've got estimate sent, you've got, job scheduled, you've got all these various points in the customer journey where a leak can happen.
Yep.
We were plugging it by saying, okay, cool, let's create a follow-up to trigger when that thing happens, right? When an estimate goes out but it doesn't close, let's make sure we follow up. When a lead comes in from Angie, let's make sure we're the first to contact and follow up consistently. When a job is scheduled, let's send a video of the owner of the company saying, thanks so much for booking with us. Really appreciate it. Like all these little like moments along the customer journey that we could automate the follow-up and also like the branding to like strengthen the brand. And that took us, like I said, like 3 years to start that. And then in the last 3 years, we've gone from, a few home service companies to the biggest in the country using it. And we're doing hundreds of millions of text messages a year now through the system. We're pushing $1 million a month in recurring revenue. So it's pretty cool. The whole process of just kind of visualizing it like from the gas station all the way through to the $1 million a month. And then now I'm just going, what's next?
Yeah.
How do we make that bigger?
Yeah.
So that's the story. It is a little long-winded, but
no, that's cool.
Yeah.
What is it like when you start a software company and you grow it over that fast to $1 million a month?
Yep.
What is it like keeping up with the software? Is that tough?
So at first it wasn't, because software was moving at a normal human pace.
Right.
For the first 4 or 5 years of the software world, we could pretty much keep up with development, right? And then in the last 2 years with AI coming out, it's like whoa, all of our hair's on fire. Like we're running around like just like moving, and every day it's like, okay, what you built yesterday is obsolete, so let's start again. Not that dramatic, obviously, but now we're at a point where the tool itself is becoming less and less relevant, and the strategy behind it is becoming the thing, and the data behind it. So this is kind of our positioning. We have 7 or 8 years now of conversations that have happened in the home service space.
Right.
And these conversations are gold because they show us what works and what doesn't. What words, if we talk about earlier when I said, are your words giving you 10 opportunities or are they giving you 90 opportunities, right? when I look back and we look through these, because this was kind of an accidental gold mine that I built on,
Right.
I didn't mean to. I wasn't thinking about this when I did this, but all of the messages we did over the last 7 or 8 years have been stored in our database.
Yep.
And so every single conversation across hundreds of millions of dollars worth of home service being generated is there.
Yep.
But I didn't know, I wasn't like, I didn't have a plan on how I was going to analyze that, because what am I going to do? Sit down, okay, I've got 450 million text messages here. Let's go ahead and start. Let's see if I can get some data out of it, right? And then it was like, just plug AI into those conversations.
Yeah.
And then have it come back and say, hey, did you know that between 7 and 9 a.m. on a Monday morning, that's the most effective time to send an estimate rehash text message? Like, I never would have known that. And I never would have guessed that that's the best time. But that's what we're finding in the data. We're finding things like tone, different regional cadences, stuff that's better to do in New York than it is in Texas, or Texas, like different follow-up cadences throughout the country, things like that. And then not only are we doing that and saying, hey, this is how you should follow up with your leads, we're actually training the AI now to follow up based on that data. So you could go get the tool itself, irrelevant, right? Because you can go get a tool. I don't want to say irrelevant. It is bad to the bone. We've built some really cool stuff, but it's less relevant because people can start to build their own kind of stuff. But most AI tools are what we call like a ChatGPT wrapper, where it's just cool looking, but it's really just drawing from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Right? And what we're doing now is saying, no, we're drawing from AI that's trained by the 7 years of data to know what to say.
Yep.
And it's different than what ChatGPT would tell you to say.
Does that in turn then go train on itself?
Again? Yeah, and then the idea is now, instead of setting up a static cadence that's like, at estimate rehash, do this, right? We're saying, at estimate rehash, unleash this AI agent that knows how to follow up, not only knows how to follow up, but also knows how to read the context of the conversation. So like, for example, if it's like, hey, I need to talk to my wife about this, the AI can read that and then respond accordingly, not with a static pre-written text message, but something that says, did you get a chance to talk to your wife? Like that's relevant to the actual conversation. Yeah. And so now you're hiring a sales guy that's trained by 450 million text messages to know what to say and do to follow up with your leads, to maximize conversion.
Yeah.
So.
And so is it better than ChatGPT's? Like, I don't know, maybe one of your competitors. So let's take Go High Level, for instance.
Yep.
We can plug in their AI thing. I've been there, done that. It's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, the AI as it is now, and everything I'm saying now will be irrelevant tomorrow. So
right, yeah.
But AI as it is now is very broad and generic, right? It's not designed and to do exactly specifically what we're talking about. And there's only a few of us in the home service space that have built databases like this. I don't know of anybody else that's doing this very specific thing, but we're getting real boots on the ground information, like actual conversations with actual homeowners that actually converted into actual jobs.
Is that where you see like the future of your business going? Is it's more less let's automate this stuff, but let's use AI to have these?
Yeah, 100%, because it's just like so clear where you're like what's the better value prop when I sit down with a customer and say, hey, you can build a campaign here, or I can say, hey, you can just click here and AI will do that all for you. That's the dream, right?
Right.
But what I'm trying to avoid is a completely cold, hey, you can fire everybody in your business and use our AI. That's not. Right. I'm actually, like, from a human standpoint, sort of anti-AI. Like, I don't love it. I don't love the idea of it. I think that we can do better as humans, just to be humans and just chill out. But it's there, and we have to keep up. So what I'm trying to do is, instead of saying, hey, use our AI so you can fire everybody in your business, I'm saying use AI so you can hire more people in your business. Yeah. And turn them into superhumans. Yeah. That's what I'm trying to accomplish. I don't want to eliminate jobs. I want to create space where humans can do human things that robots can't do. And we stop wasting humans' time doing things that robots can do so that they can become better. and turn them, like I said, into superhumans. Because if I can say, okay, cool, your CSR, we don't say, cool, you have an AI CSR, fire her. It's like, no, how about she manages this AI stuff and is above it, and now she's having to think through problems and solve things, and her life is more fulfilled because she's less just a robot that shows up and more doing the thing. Because to me, the most valuable thing in a business is the human brain.
Right.
And if we're not tapping into that, like we're losing a lot of potential. Like if you have a CSR where they're not engaged in their work and they just are just doing redundant things, it's like we have this really powerful, human brain sitting there, and we're not maximizing what we could get out of it. So the idea here is that we're challenging that brain to be better, right, and get more out of it. And so we remove the redundancy of the follow-up, and I can say, look, okay, so here's your CSR, who you could have her sit there and send 100 text messages, right, manually. Or AI can send out the 100 text messages and start the conversations, and she can monitor and make sure that everything is flowing correctly and take over conversations as needed. But now she instead of sending 100 messages, taking half a day to do that, she takes 2 seconds to do that, and then is now engaging with the leads that actually respond. And and then now you're just getting a lot more out of an hour than you did before, right? So
So I've seen the inside of Chirp. I've been a Chirp customer with my last business, but it was before any of the AI stuff. And so we basically had built out campaigns like you were talking about. To your Chirp's credit, that was probably the onboarding with Chirp was the best onboarding for any software on planet Earth. And I don't know if that was normal at Chirp or if it was the person that I had.
It's both.
We've
had good and bad. We've had bad.
I think the lady's name was Chandria.
Yeah, Chandrea.
Chandrea.
Yeah.
There you go. She was awesome.
She's still with us and still awesome.
Cool. She needs a raise. So what does that look like?
Shout out Chandrea.
There you go. What does that look like tactically inside of Chirp with the AI involved now?
So now instead of going in and saying, okay, cool, when we would sit down with you and say, okay, at estimate, let's build a campaign, right, at this particular point in the journey. And we would say, this is what other companies are doing. What would you like to do? And you build out this campaign. Okay, cool. Set that to go. All right, now and when you have Angie, let's say you do Angie Leads. I bring up Angie Leads because everybody hates them, but it's like, hey, we can help you convert them. Angie Leads, what do you want to do there? This is what other companies are doing. This is, and we'd build out these campaigns. That was the what you would probably remember, right? Now we say, okay, cool. At this point, let's train an agent together. And this is the training we already have with this, but do you want us to change the cadence? Do you want to do certain things? And then done. Now you have a trained agent specifically for that task. You just hired an employee. That employee now works for you and will always do that thing for Angie Leads. You always can rely on it to do that thing. Gotcha. And it's this, in Chirp, there's individual modules for each individual agent. And you can click on that agent and you can say, oh, it's trained this way. It's doing this. If I want to change the cadence or change how aggressive he is, I can do those things. And then I can see all the data as to what's his contact rate, what's his success rate. And I can even get down as far as I want to A/B test on, let's say I say I want an Angie Lead aggressive guy and a not so aggressive guy. Let's see which one converts better. And now we A/B test and have a winner. And then that guy then takes over that agent takes over that task. And so now you're training for each individual thing. And then the thing I want to iterate, and this is important because a lot of people are like, whoa, I don't want to hand over that much control to AI yet. I'm not ready for that. The option is still 100% there for this to be as manual. You can it's like a spectrum. You can go, I want only manual drip campaigns that I have complete control over. I don't want AI to have anything to do with it. You can still do that. Within that agent, you would do that, and it would just follow those rules. Or you can take it all the way to as far as I want the agent to just follow the Chirp AI system and just do whatever they tell it to do. And so there's that spectrum, right? And you can land in the middle there. You can say, I want AI to only create the messages, but I want the cadence to be exactly this. So you have these options as to how much AI you want to use in the system. And that's something, that's like a thing I have to want to really drill down on, because a lot of people are like, whoa, AI? No, I'm not touching it, right? And it's like, whoa, let's talk about how you can effectively use it, but within your control. Because people are and they're rightfully so. They're scared of AI,
Yep.
and and you should be in some instances where it's just a lot of these guys coming out going, I've got an agent that can do, I've got an AI bot, I got this, I got all these people raising their hand, and they're literally connecting all their data to these fly by night companies. And I mean, if you Google it now, there's like instances where big companies have been like, all of their stuff's been deleted, or an agent went rogue, or something happened and like messed up their CRM and broke a bunch of stuff. So there's definitely like cautions you should take, and you should be looking at this with your eyes wide open.
Yeah.
Right? And so you can. So I want it to be clear that like you could still operate Chirp exactly how you did before AI, and then you can start to add layers as you get more comfortable with it. So
Gotcha.
Hey guys, real quick, if you need a good marketing agency, I've got the perfect one for you, mammothforplumbers.com/wealthy. We've used Mammoth Marketing for the last 5 or 6 years in every single company, and they've always done a great job for us. They work with plumbers specifically. They know exactly what they're doing, and they're a great agency. If you guys are trying to get more work, or you haven't marketed before, you want to grow your business, you've got to market your company. And one of the best ways to do this is to hire someone who's specifically good at marketing your very specific type of company. So go check them out at mammothforplumbers.com/wealthy. Tell them you came from the Wealthy Plumber or the Jared Williams Show, and they'll hook you up.
Let's go back to Angie Leads.
yeah.
What is the trick with Angie Leads?
So Angie Leads, this is cool. This is one of the when we had the AI read back through, it's like, how do you convert Angie leads? What's the most effective? Speed to lead is 100% absolutely key. Less than 60 seconds, you have to contact the leads.
So you almost have to do that with AI.
Oh yeah, unless you're gonna sit there
Right.
and just wait for a agent or for a lead to come in.
Yep.
60 seconds is the number, right? If you wait, because here's what's gonna happen, and I'll give you an example. AI, like the lead comes in, and Angie leads, they're gonna sell those leads to 5 or 10, however many contractors they send.
Yep.
I think it's 5 or something like that. So you're up against two things: the attention span of the customer,
Yep.
and also against 5 other contractors. So
Yep.
you have to beat both of those. And to do that, you've got 60 seconds. And so lead comes in, immediate text message goes to the customer. We've received your information. Thank you so much for your request. We're going to call you in just a moment to get you scheduled. And then you call within a minute to 2 minutes if you can. That's the best route. Very quick, very fast. But that first text message can kind of cut off any further consideration. They'll go, okay, I'll start with this guy, because then they get a phone. They might get a text or phone call, and they'll go, well, this one, they've subconsciously kind of committed to that first.
Where are Angie Leads coming from? Like, where's Angie's pulling these leads from?
Angie has assets all over the internet. They have both paid and organic advertising happening. You might search HVAC or plumbing in your area, right? And you might get ads that are, you're going to get local ads, but then you might have an organic Angie lead thing that just says, here's the best plumber in your area. And you might click that, and they go through Angie's portal. Lead comes in, right? And now you've kind of gone through these layers, and then they submit their information, and then it's go time right then at that moment, right? But they also do paid advertising, like on social media. So you'll see ads popping up on social media. Do you need, how about a $49 tune-up or whatever the deal is, right? Click that, and then it goes through the portal. Same thing.
Some of their ads I see on Facebook, I'm surprised they work.
Oh, dude. Well, everybody on the end of this is like, they don't work. Angie sucks.
Well, yeah. I'm surprised they get any leads from them.
Right. Yeah. And at the end of the day, social media marketing is like one of those things. You and I will look at something and be like, how in the heck is that working? But we're never the target audience. Like there's always like some niche of people that respond to that type of marketing, and it generates a lead. And so, and that's why marketing is so strange, because there's so many different routes and so many different ways that a lead can actually make it to you.
Yep.
It's that moment though we were talking about this earlier. A lead is not a human. It's a moment. It's timing, right? And it's like the lead is only that lead for a certain amount of time before their attention collapses and it's gone. And so you have that little like glowing moment to to make your mark and to capture the opportunity.
Yep.
And so when people think, well, I got a lead, and you're like, well, did you contact it? Like, yeah, like later that day I was busy or whatever. It's like it's no longer a lead.
No.
It's a contact.
Yep.
And they've likely gone somewhere else.
Yep.
So yeah, you have that 60 seconds. And then a 14-day cadence after. For those that don't convert right then, 14 days of follow-up. Not every single day, but over a 14-day period follow-up. And we have the wording and different things that work
Gotcha.
in the system.
So I saw some things of yours on social media. I don't remember how I saw them or why I saw them, but do you have something to do with some carpet cleaning business or something?
Yeah. So I helped my brother start a carpet cleaning business. Is that what you're talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. I've helped a lot of carpet cleaning business, but yeah, is that pineapple carpet cleaning? Is that the
Yes.
one? Yeah.
And from what I can tell, you're helping him use Facebook lead forms.
Yes.
To get leads?
Yeah. So he ran that business. We ran that business for 3 years and we sold it. So he's out of it just for clarity. But yeah, so lead forms is my favorite. That's my way of that's what made me all the money at the windshield repair course was lead forms. I love lead forms.
Well, how come lead forms? Just because it's cheap leads?
It's two things. It's cheap leads, and it's all the technology of a funnel wrapped up into a very simple way to set up. You don't have to build a landing page. You don't have to test colors, buttons, nothing. It's all pre-built in the Facebook ecosystem.
Yep.
The question is, and this is the problem, is most people go, those leads are crap.
Yeah.
And they suck. And I go, well, actually, no, you just suck at converting. That's the problem.
Right.
And that's really what it comes down to, because it's really still somebody raising their hand.
Yep.
It's still a human being that saw the ad and clicked it and submitted their information. The question is can you do the things to convert that lead into actual money? And then most people just assume that the leads are crap because they called them and they didn't get money right then, right?
Yep.
And so if we talked about earlier, there's that gap between top of funnel and bottom of funnel that you have to close. You have to learn to close that gap.
Yep.
And so if you're running Facebook lead forms, and for those listening that don't know what these are, it's an ad that you put on Facebook, and when the person clicks it, a form that is native to Facebook that's just on Facebook pops up with their information already in it, and they can just click submit. So it's very easy, very low friction.
Yep.
But with low friction comes, a lower quality lead. I don't like to say that because it's more just like they're just higher in the funnel. We just need to do more to turn them into a deal. And so, we built his whole business. We did, I think, $150,000 his first year just through Facebook lead forms, with like $15,000 of ad spend. So great return.
Yeah.
And so these lead forms work very well. The problem is always going to be you've got to have creative. You've got to be now, especially with how Meta has changed. You do need to be regularly releasing ads. It used to be that you could put one ad out and run it forever.
Yep.
And Meta's kind of cracking down on that. They want more creativity. So you're kind of having to release more ads more frequently, which is fine because AI makes that possible. You can make ads much easier than you could 10 years ago. You want a low friction form, low information, name, phone number, email, or even just name, phone number. You can pass on collecting email. And then some people do want to try to raise the quality of the lead, so they'll ask a couple questions in the form. That's to be tested, in my opinion. Start with the lowest and then add layers of friction one by one. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So instead of going, I want all this information, say, hey, start with name. Like it was like with the windshield repair thing. I would get a ton of leads and then I would call them and I was like, wait a second, this is taking too much time. And then I would add a layer of complexity to the funnel after I figured that out.
Yep.
So with Facebook forms, start with name and phone number. They click it, and then you can take them right to schedule a page. Like if you have a scheduling engine, you can have them go right to the scheduling engine. But at the same time, you want a text message go out right that moment that they submit the information. Thank you. So we'd say, thank you so much for requesting carpet repair. What city is your home in? A really low friction question.
Yep.
We're not going, what's your social security number? Right? It's like a really oh, I'm in, Lehigh. We're in Utah. So, oh, I'm in Draper, whatever. And you go, okay, cool. How many rooms does your house have? And then you just start, getting these micro commitments. Every time they respond, there's a little micro commitment. And then it's like, okay, now we can ask for money. We've taken them through this. Like, they don't want to do this again somewhere else at this point.
Right.
We're ready. Okay, here's your quote. And then close the deal. So that's how we did it with Facebook lead forms and and this is like, it's very frustrating because this has been slept on. Facebook lead forms slept on like forever. I can't convince people to do them. I'm like literally, you can sit there and set up a lead form in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And I did a big webinar with Tommy Mello where I was like, this is it. I'm gonna come out and I'm gonna teach everybody about lead forms. And literally at the end of the webinar, people would be reaching out to me going, that's really cool. Can you set it up for me?
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, no, I can't. I can't do it for everybody. It's just too much work to do to do it individually. But it literally, I just showed you in this webinar, you can literally have leads tomorrow. The moment we set up that carpet cleaning business, day one, we had leads coming into the business, never stopped.
And are you having to run any offers or anything, or is it?
Yeah, you come up with offers, and it's always different, right? Every business, every season, every location, it's always different. Yep. But you just come up with the hustle, right? What's the hustle? What's the HVAC hustle, right? It's like, what's the $49 tune-up or whatever you do for plumbing or water softeners or stuff like that,
$99 drain clean.
Yeah, $99 drain clean. And you just do these simple offers, and the idea is always the same. Let's lose a little money right now for an opportunity. Let's wash the windshield for free in hopes that we find a chip in the windshield, right? And when we do, we're going to offer our service. So you figure out your numbers, and this is like, I can't say this enough. It's extremely important to know. You have to know that I'm willing to, I can spend this much money to get into a house and I will be profitable. Once you know that number, you can go crazy, right? On Facebook and everything. You can be like, cool, as long as I can spend this much to get an opportunity, I'm good. If you know that number, you can write your own paycheck. So
we used them in my pressure washing business last year. And the one that killed it for us was hire us to wash your driveway and we'll wash your windows for free.
Perfect, right?
That one killed it.
Yeah.
And so we're already on site. We already got commitment to wash their driveway.
Yep.
We're already making like $300 to $400 on the driveway.
Yep.
And it takes us 20 minutes to go whip our window washing equipment out and wash their windows.
Yep.
And we got it. And then we upsell them on a house wash and a gutter wash and fence wash and all the other stuff.
Yep. The problem that most people face is they're very transactional. They're trying to get enough money off of one thing. Like if you set out and go, I'm going to make like the $99 offer, right? Yeah. If you're trying to make your money off that $99, it's not going to happen. That's there to set you up, right?
It is. So I've never ran $99 drain cleans until Wahoo Plumbing just now. And I'm completely flabbergasted.
If you're in Utah, I need that.
You need that? Yeah. Okay. I'll post it in my school group.
Yeah.
We'll get somebody over there. Yeah. I'm absolutely floored by how cheap the marketing is. Like at $99, I almost break even at a $99 drain clean.
Can you imagine that? In this Facebook you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm getting $10 booked jobs.
Okay. Everybody,
it's crazy.
Please, for the love, you heard it right here, right now. We just gave you the keys to the kingdom. Like you could. Okay. Do you remember? You know how hard it is to build a door knocking team, right? You know how hard that is, like to build a team.
I don't even know. So
in Utah, we're Mormons, right? We knock doors, right? Yep. That's what we do. There's a ton of door knocking companies because we come home from. If you know anything about Mormons, they go on a mission, they come home, and they've been selling religion, which is the hardest thing to sell in the world. You tell them to sell plumbing, it's like, oh, that's easy compared to selling God's way harder than that, right?
Totally.
So they're like, yeah, cool. Security systems, pest control, whatever, I'll sell it. That's easy, right? Yep. So we have these big door knocking companies that are making hundreds of millions of dollars, right? Yeah. And it's like the dream, right? You're like, oh, that'd be awesome, but dude, I got to recruit for 100 return missionaries to go out. That's hard. And I go, dude, you have a digital door knocker. Facebook will knock doors all day for you. Yep. And they'll do it for a lot less money.
And they're a lot better at it.
And people still are like, no. And so you're over here getting $99 drain cleans and breaking even, which is insane.
It is insane. Blows my mind still.
And then it's like, cool, I have a free opportunity.
I don't even need to upsell at that point.
Yeah.
I'm getting free customers in my door.
Okay.
I'll make money on
Podcast
anything
over,
and everything
go.
else.
Go. That's legit. See, that's
Yeah.
exactly what I'm saying. And I'm assuming you're kind of following the same. Text them really quickly. Go through the process.
Honestly, we're running to a funnel that's a call only funnel.
Okay. So yeah.
And I haven't even put an online scheduler on there or a form or anything.
So,
on
but
there
are
yet.
you contacting fast? What's the game?
They're calling us.
Oh, you're going through that route.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay, that's
So
yeah.
they're seeing
Yeah.
the ad. Maybe they see it a few times. Honestly, with the Andromeda updates on Facebook, I started structuring everything in just one campaign with all my offers, and then some 5-star review ads
Yeah.
that it uses as retargeting. And so I don't get a whole lot on the offers. I'll get some on the $99 direct link, but most of the calls just come from the 5-star review ads.
Oh, sick.
So it's like
Yeah.
you can see the way Facebook spends the money and the way the frequency is working on that ad.
Yep.
It's like showing them the offers a few times and then it's jumping them to like check how good of a job we did.
Yep.
The
Yeah,
customer's
dude.
clicking it. They run to a funnel that says we'll be there in 60 minutes or they get $100 off and they give us a call.
The thing to take away from this, Facebook wants your money. Like they want you to spend. And so they don't like it if you don't have a good if you failed. They're bummed. They're like, shoot, it's just like the same as if you go anywhere and you don't get what you paid for, right?
Yep.
So they're doing everything they can to figure out how to make your ads more successful. They've got AI now trying to figure out how to make it's literally there. And if you play their game,
Yep.
they're cool. Yeah, give us more money and we'll send you more customers. Like that's the game.
It's
But you have to do their
never
game.
been easier.
It's never
As of now.
right.
Very easy.
When I started 10, 12 years ago doing it, it was like very manual, very like it was like I chose my audience and it was like that's your audience.
Yep.
Andromeda now is like, oh, we know who wants garage doors. We know who needs plumbing right now. They know what everybody needs. They're a data company.
Yeah, ours is wide open. We just have location.
You don't even have to go target. You just go location. I want people who need plumbing services in this location. You don't even need to do that. They know that from the ad itself.
Yeah.
You just choose the location and they read the ad and they go, oh, you need plumbing customers? Cool, I got them over here. As long as you're playing their game, if you follow their little process.
Yes. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Like we've even got hiring ads looking for plumbers with 2 years experience. And those I can't, like the audience is way smaller. Again, no targeting on, just location. And Facebook won't spend all my money. I'm guessing because there's just not enough people to see.
Yeah,
it.
they know. They're like, well, let's not waste it here. We know that they're not going to convert.
Yeah. Very cool.
It's like, and the next step of that is kind of scary. Is they're going to eliminate the creative side.
Yeah.
Where they just go, just tell us what you do.
Yeah.
And where you do it. And we'll take it from there.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
It'll be cool, but at what point in time does that become too easy?
I know, right? Because then it's just a matter of who's willing to spend the most to get that deal.
Right.
And that gets a little scary because then you get the players that come in, the private equity that are going, we're willing to buy a customer and lose for 3 years before we make any money or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So that gets a little scary. Let's not.
We've been noticing like on my personal brand stuff, I can go film a video just with my phone and it seems to do better than something we overproduce
100% of the
right
time.
now. It's weird.
And I'll that's like something I like have been shouting from the rooftops for years. People are starved for real things.
Yep.
Everything, and especially I think it's going to get worse and worse and worse with AI and everything. Everything is becoming, is that even real? Am I even seeing something real?
Yeah.
And when they actually feel that something's real, they move. And it's the feeling. It's not, our eyes deceive us now. But if they feel like it's real, that's and that's where we're kind of moving into this situation where we have to get people to feel a certain way. We're beyond like any kind of like trust in the actual thing. It's too, you can't trust your eyes or ears is what I'm saying. It's like this is kind of a point I made with Tersh. We're getting to this point where we have to be able to say we can't trust our eyes and ears. And so what are the feelings in our intuition? Because people you're not going to be able to know the difference between an AI voice versus a human voice. And I say, I think, when somebody goes blind or is blind for a long time, somebody's blind.
Yep.
They navigate the world pretty well. You've
Yeah.
seen a blind person walking around. You're like,
Yeah.
how in the heck do you do that? And it's because they've developed all these other senses, right?
Yep.
Subconsciously they develop. It's just happening.
Yep.
And I think us as humans, we're going to start to do that. As AI starts to get more and more, we're going to start to develop other senses that we're not realize, and we'll start to sense things and go, and it'll be how we feel. We'll be like, I just don't feel right with this.
Yep.
And so, like you said, a unproduced, simple video of just me being me is
Yep.
the most effective.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
it's a human connection.
Yep.
So.
Yep. And I find that in like even the ads that we make for Wahoo Plumbing, if I can just grab my phone and just talk to the camera like a real human
100%.
being,
Yeah.
that crushes
100%.
anything we try to produce.
Yep.
All day long.
Yeah, so that's another really good point. If you're thinking about doing Facebook ads and you're thinking, well, I don't want to get a video production or I don't want to do this.
You don't
It's
need
like,
to.
pick up your phone and say, hey, this is me. I built this business. I love it. I've been doing it for 15 years. I take care of my customers. Look at all my 5-star reviews. I just really want to serve your family. This is my wife and my kids. Like be a human.
Yep.
And go, I'd love to do business with you.
Yep.
And it's like that will crush far beyond $100,000 commercial.
Yep.
100%.
Yep. Which is cool.
Yeah,
It's cool that
heck,
we
it's
live in
way
that kind of world.
Yeah.
What I think is cool about that is that's what private equity is not going to do.
That's where everybody's scared of that kind of thing. And it's like, you have to remember, you can see in every space, you can see huge companies winning and small companies winning just as much as they need to as well.
Yep.
Because there's going to be a certain amount of people, and especially if private equity keeps going the route they're going, where it's just like raise prices, and somebody comes and goes, that's ridiculous. I can offer the same thing at a price that actually makes sense. Those guys, there's always going to be space for those guys.
Yep.
And there's always going to be space for the guy that is that guy that's like, this is my wife and my kids. This is what we do. This is my family run business. There's always going to be space for that. I don't believe that it's just going to be singular.
Yeah.
This is HVAC. This is plumbing. There's one company for each one. It's like, I don't see that happening.
No, I don't either. So let's go back. When you started Chirp, you were plugging holes in the boat, we'll call it.
Yep.
What were some of those holes that you first noticed, and how did you plug them?
Well, so the speed to lead was a big one, right? It was like you're not getting your leads fast enough.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big one. That's like that. If you just used Chirp for speed to lead, you'd be positive ROI.
And so like Angie's Facebook lead, somebody fills out a form.
Missed calls a big one. If you miss a call, a lot of people are having AI answer the phones. That's great. We have that. I'm very much on the fence if you want AI to be the first thing that the person hears.
Yeah.
I'm not sold on it. Some people love it. Some people, I don't know. I'm just not there. But it's there if you want it. We have it. But the other thing is, you miss a call, you're on a job or your CSR is too busy to answer the phone, whatever it is, you miss that call. If you text within 30 seconds back, sorry, we missed your call. We'll call you back in just a moment. Or you can click here to book. Eco Plumbers, Aaron Gaynor, first week doing that was like $250,000 that booked through that link.
Oh, dang.
On that missed call.
And that's just going to an online scheduler?
Yeah, just to their online scheduler. Yeah. So like you completely eliminate the need to even have somebody call them back.
I would just quit answering the phone.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So then you're just going, okay, cool. If I miss a call, and here's a quick story about that. I recently, I had a DEXA scan. I was doing a DEXA. That's where you get your body. It's where they tell you you're fat, basically. And I called there at my office. There was 2 DEXA. I Googled it, and there's 2 within 1 mile. There's 2 really close, and both completely, or somewhere in the 200s of 5-star reviews. Like exactly the same company in my eyes, right? No difference. And so the only difference was one was above the other in Google.
Yeah.
So I click the first to call. I call. He doesn't answer. Goes to voicemail. I hang up the phone. I click the next one. I call. Person answers. Goes through the process. Asks me everything. Books it. And then I hang up. And right when I hang up, I get a text message from the other guy. Sorry, I missed your call. Love to get you booked. And I'm like, I've already done the whole process.
Right.
He texted me 2 minutes after. So you can see that difference between a minute and 2 minutes was enough for me to get on and book with somebody else. the same thing happened when my son threw a baseball through our window at the house. I called a window guy, and he had speed to lead dialed, because when I hung up, he missed a call, and right when I hung up, I got the text message. It didn't wait that extra minute. And that was enough for me to go, it said, hey, I'll call you right back. And I was like, oh, okay, he's going to call me back. And I forgot about it for that next couple of minutes. It like shut me from going to the next guy.
Yep.
And then I got the call back and I booked him. So that difference of a minute was the key. So speed to lead, to answer your question, is huge. And then lead follow up is huge. It's like people aren't following up with their leads consistently. And then
when you say lead follow up, what do you mean?
So we do drip campaigns over periods of time, right? 14 days, all the way up to like a year out. Like if we have leads, we're going to keep contacting until they either sign up or say no.
Right.
And we'll do, like, not aggressively, slow drips after a while, but that first 14 days, you have opportunity to grab. You've paid for that lead. You paid for the opportunity. You have to maximize it. Yep. And so people will say, it's somewhere, depending on the study, you look at 12 to 18 touch points to get maximum conversion on leads. Mm-hmm. And nobody's calling 12 to 18 times. No way. Once or twice, maybe.
Yep.
But if you text consistently over 14 days, you're gonna get a lot of people that are, oh yeah, I've been meaning to do that. Yes, I've been meaning to do that. And so we make sure you're consistently following up with leads automatically. You don't have to pick up your phone and text them through the system. It'll text. And then estimate is a huge one. Gettle's known for being like really good with systems. And when we plugged in Estimate Rehash, they still recovered $750,000 their first month by following up with estimates that went cold and went dark.
Oh, nice.
And so Estimate goes out in your system, whether it's ServiceTitan, HouseCall Pro, Jobber, we're integrated with all of these things, and we have different cadences for different types of jobs and different things. But when those estimates go out, if they don't close, Chirp kicks in and starts follow-up, very consistent follow-up with those. Hey, we wanted to make sure you had all your questions answered. We came out yesterday to get your estimate. What questions do you have, or whatever, a real gentle follow-up just to stay top of mind while they're in the consideration process, right? They're talking to other companies and these different things. And there's so many times where 7, 10, 3 weeks later, the person will go, oh, yeah. Okay. I've been meaning to do it. Let's do it, right? Yep. And it's like nobody would have got that job organically. They wouldn't have done it. They wouldn't have followed up to that degree.
Right.
We even have where go about 6 months later or 12 months later, and they'll go, yeah, I do need to get that done. And you just snagged a job from a lead you paid for 6 months ago. So that follow-up is a huge leak in most businesses.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants the low-hanging fruit. They want the deals that are ready to close right now. Sales guys love closing deals, and that's great. And it's always a battle to get them to do their follow-up. So we just say, don't make your sales guy follow up. We'll do that part. Let them focus on closing deals, and then let AI do the boring part, the follow-up.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Cool.
Pretty sweet.
I know at my last plumbing business, when we started doing follow-up, it was, and we weren't big. We did like $5 million a year. It was $750,000 in revenue in 1 year, just from 12 emails.
Yeah.
That was before. I don't even think text was available at that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was massive.
It's always a shocking number.
Yeah.
Where people, like that one with Plumbers.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
just sitting there.
$250,000 your first week. How much have you not missed out on? It's like kind of heartbreaking to look back.
Yes.
Like, holy
don't
cow.
Look back.
But like Gettle, you would think with Gettle, you're going, well, they're a huge company. They've got it totally dialed.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, no, actually nobody has it dialed. Like nobody, even like everybody using Chirp still, we're all just figuring it out. They're still better, right?
Yeah.
Till we all hit 100% conversion rate, there's room to improve, right?
Right.
But with Gettle, that was the biggest shock. It was like they're like, let's do Estimate Rehash. We come back through the numbers and like, whoa, dude, $750K from estimate follow-ups.
Yeah.
So there, and then post job is huge. People are not extending the LTV, the lifetime value of their customer. They're not reaching out for reviews. They're not reaching out for referrals. And then they're not following up with basic things throughout the year just to stay top of mind, or using their database. That some companies will be like, I need more leads. And we go, well, you have 50,000 people or 10,000 people or 5,000 people in your database. Have you communicated with them in the last, 12 months? Like, no. Like, that's data that you're sitting on that you've already paid for. Let's start there. In our system, you can create audiences and send out messages like, HVAC guys will do shoulder season. They'll be like, hey, it's that time of year for a tune-up. Would you like us to come out? That kind of stuff. But plumbers the same. There's any offer you can create, and you want it to be very conversational. You don't want to reach out with a, hey, for the next 10 people that respond, you get X dollars off. It's just, hey, it's Jared. Just wanted to say thanks for your business. Just want to let you know we're doing this thing in your neighborhood next week. Do you want to get on the schedule?
Yep.
Very conversational.
Yeah. How much of a pain in the butt is it dealing with all these other CRMs, getting them to do what you need them to do?
Expound on that.
So, like, for instance, Service Titan, you're limited with the triggers or the webhooks or whatever they are.
Yep. I mean, it's always a hassle. It's always a struggle to make systems communicate with each other. That's where Chirp has become as successful it is because we've built such deep integrations into these systems that allow us to trigger things at the right points. And so instead of just saying at estimate do this, we say at estimate with this job type or this business unit with this amount on the invoice, this technician, all these different filters to say this is the specific cadence we want for that. Because if let's say I'm a HVAC, plumbing, electrical, but I use one Service Titan and I just have an estimate rehash campaign, I'm going to follow up. I'm not going to follow up with my plumbing leads the same that I'm going to follow up with my HVAC leads or my electrical leads. I want to break those out. And then I want to break those out based on what the urgency is or what the different type of job it is, so that I'm doing the right follow up based on that. And that's where and as we get more into AI, we do that now with the static campaigns, and then with AI, it's getting more and more can read the context of the job itself and create really customized follow ups.
So, that's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
Okay. So one last question then.
Yeah.
We'll go business general.
Yeah.
You've obviously had some success. If you're going to leave anybody listening to this with your 2 best business advices, what would it be?
2 best businesses. I want to be really careful here. Number 1, nobody knows your business better than yourself. And so you can listen to me, you can listen to Jared, you can listen to anybody, but put that through the filter of your own gut and allow that to make the decision, because I've allowed many times for people to make decisions within my business and kind of given up some of that autonomy too early. And it's nobody's business. Like, nobody's business runs the same. There's no plumber that runs his business exactly the same as the guy next door. They're all different because every personality is a little bit different. And so you have to put everything through your filter and make a business that you like. Don't build a business to impress a private equity company. Don't build a business to impress, other plumbers. Don't try to go, what Tommy Mello will say a million times. Revenue is vanity, profit is sanity. Those kind of things. You build a business that you like and that what makes you happy. And all those things will solve for itself. There'll be a private equity company that loves your business if it's doing your thing. If that's what you ultimately want to do, whatever. But it build the business for you. So that would be number 1.
Okay.
Number 2, story is everything, in my opinion. I used to do stand-up comedy in my 20s, and I was doing a show. Pauly Shore was there that night. If you know who Pauly Shore is. Yep. The Weasel. He was there doing comedy, and we hung out for like an hour. And I asked him, this is not only the best business advice I've ever received from the strangest possible place, Pauly Shore. Yep. But it's like some of the best like life advice I've ever received. And I've like tried to reach out to him recently. I've never heard back, but I'm like, dude, this changed my life 25 years ago. I just think you should know. But we sat there and I was like, hey, I'm just starting out in comedy. Like, give me some tips on like, whatever. I'd ask all the comedians, because we hang out at the clubs in Southern California, and like all the comedians would be there and be like, give me some tips, And he goes, Nobody cares about your jokes, and let's call the jokes the product. That's what a comedian is selling. They're selling jokes, right?
Yep.
In your case, you know, if it's plumbing or if it's HVAC or whatever it is, that's your product. Okay, so nobody cares about your product until they care about you.
Yep.
And he said, I can go on stage and I can tell a really crappy airplane food joke, and I'll get a really big laugh because they love me. But if you go up on the stage and tell the exact same joke,
Yep.
it's gonna you're gonna eat it, right? Because they don't know you, they don't love you yet. And he said, so you have to build an audience, and the only way you can build an audience is through the one thing that's unique to you, and that's your story.
Yep.
So the jokes you write need to be about you and your story, not about airplane food. Tell your story, and you'll build an audience, and you'll graduate to airplane food jokes. And so the advice to me is every opportunity you get to tell your story, you do it. In every portion of every part of the customer journey, if you can send a video, like I was saying, the selfie videos.
Yeah.
When you can reach out in Pineapple Carpet Cleaning, he would send a video where he's just like, hey, my name's Blake. I'm the owner of Pineapple Carpet Cleaning. I'm so excited. I just started this business. This is my wife, and we're so excited to serve you, you know. And he told a little piece of his story. And then what happens is the people go, oh, I like that guy.
Yep.
And then now the service doesn't matter. They just go, I want to do business with him.
Yep.
What do you have to offer? And so instead of saying, I do plumbing, that, and then this guy's over, I do plumbing too. And you go, hey, I'm this guy, and I have this cool story that like whatever, and people like, you know, this is my wife and kids. I keep going to that because it's really important. Family is really cool to do that. And then they go, oh, I like him. I want him to be my plumber.
Yep.
And then you won. You know. So any chance you can get to tell your story, you do it. And all your marketing should be around your story. Everything should be story, story, story. The people who are the wealthiest people in the world, you know, if we go Hollywood back, you know, when it was starting out, everything, they're great storytellers. That's all Hollywood is, right? It's just they're great storytellers. And people love good stories. And so if you can tell a good story, you will win every single time. It doesn't, you can charge whatever you want because I just like that guy. I trust that guy. I want to do business with that guy. So yeah,
Cool.
that would be my advice.
I agree.
I'm glad you do.
Well, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Jared.
Yeah.
It's been fun. Thanks.
Anytime you want to fly down here and go fishing the day before.
We had a great time fishing. It was awesome. So
Cool, man.
Thanks, Jared.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
See you guys.